Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning to you all. Welcome you all to this early Monday morning broadcast. Happy New Week to you all, and Happy New Week to my family, friends, fans, viewers, and subscribers all over the world. I welcome you all once again to this broadcast where we can tell you everything you need to know about those people who have conspired against P2B. In fact, the news of today is literally on the Labour Party presidential candidate. One of them who come out and vow that P2B can never become president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now his own brother, where he named Senator Ike Ekwuremadu. Now I want to recount you the audience of those people who have vowed to fight against this very government, or who have vowed that P2B can never win at the court, at the petition court. So I will give you the names as we proceed to the news of this very morning. Please do not touch the dial. Let me just sip my tea. I'll be right back. Okay, before we proceed, please, I want to use this opportunity to remind you, my followers, those watching my content without subscription, please try to subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification button so that you'll be notified each time we go live. I will post something new on this channel or another channel related to Okute Daily Talk. So my wonderful people, please make on a tighten on a seatbelt, because this morning is going to be fire for fire. You get the point now? It's going to be fire for fire. So if you are hearing my voice for the first time, you are highly welcome. You are wondering who is here. My name never changes. It still remains Okute Daily Talk, where they give you the correct news, where come from a correct platform. So make on a do what? Make on a tighten on a seatbelt. We are about to take off. Ekwuremadu, the inspiration of loving father in their need. What would you have done differently if you happens to be in his shoe? Well, let me tell you, my wonderful people, this man started to encounter this problem when he began to castigate P2B, that he will never do what? He will never win election. And he's supposed to be the man to take over the Senate seat. And as I tell you, because he has been there for almost 18 good years. So when they turn the see, say this man, he don't betray his own brother. Though the Fulanis and the Sepe masters, they know say, man, this man, if they make him Senate president, he will betray them and love the Easterners or Biafrans. So that is why they gang up against him and do what? And brought him to where he was at this point in time, or where he is. The Chronicles of Nigerian former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekwuremadu's audio from June 22 to May 23 have now cast a shadow on his part of politics. In this article, Nigerian News likens the action of Ekwuremadu to a desperate father in their need to save his child and the corrupt Nigerian politicians as well. While it is easier for many Nigerians to sympathize with the latter, others will find it difficult to sympathize with the former Senate President Ike Ekwuremadu. The politician is a part of the elite who seem unbothered about the health facilities in the country and instead travel abroad to be treated by the same doctors they failed to invest in while they were in Nigeria. That is the point now. That's the point we are trying to make here. All these people, all these our politicians, they keep on jumping abroad. Even when they go to the highest hospital, either US or UK or France, it is still the same Nigerian doctors we treat them there. They refuse to equip them. They refuse to take care of them in Nigeria. But when they go outside there, they'll be the same people to treat them. I even say, if I see the fault of these people, if I were to be them, if I find you a politician outside there, come let me treat you, my dear. You go here and we, I swear to God, you go here and we. Rubbish. While Nigeria is being degraded and her national coffers looted, our allies are investing in foreign countries, going for a treatment abroad and celebrating their graduation of their kids from world-class universities, while Nigeria, their own country, is dying on a daily basis. Instead of them to find the how they will regulate this thing, that anyone that is a public office should not be allowed to travel outside, or even their children to go outside, because you cannot tell me a ministry of education in Nigeria don't even have even their fourth generation have been secured admission in the universities, higher universities in the world outside the country, not in their own country. But they call him a minister of education in our own country. That is how Nigeria can never be good. Yes, Minister of Health, even common Panadol, we jump to a private jet and jet out to London or anywhere else to go and buy Panadol. Then what we have in our country is only chalk. Ekuremado's pedigree could have brought world-class hospitals and good living conditions to millions of his constituents in Enugu State. But for the decades he served as a senator, he never did so like other politicians, arrested and jail sentenced. Ekuremado and his wife were arrested by the London Metropolitan Police in June of 2022 and subsequently arraigned in court for conspiring to bring a market trader in Lagos to UK for the purpose of harvesting his kidney for his 25-year-old island daughter Sonia. The 61-year-old Nigerian senator, his wife, and a medical doctor, Obinna Obeta, were found guilty in March 2023 and sentenced on May 5 of 2023. Ekuremado's wife was sentenced to 9 years and 8 months. Ekuremado was sentenced to 9 years and 8 months. Let's call it 10 years. His wife, Beatrice, 56, was handed 4 years, 6 months jail term, while the doctor involved in the case of the organ trafficking got a 10-year jail term with his medical license suspended. This is really sad for a father whose sole purpose was to save his child's health. Perhaps the senator would have gone through the right path, but no, like every other Nigerian politician, Ekuremado thinks he could get away with the crime. David Ugbo, that is the boy that they want to harvest his kidney. David Ugbo's kidney reportedly did not match that of Ekuremado's child and was scheduled to return to Nigeria, but he refused to return and instead reported to the UK police to seek asylum. A situation which warranted the arrest of the lawmaker and his wife. In the era of Jagba syndrome, David was opportune to see the living condition in the UK and not say, man, I'm not going back, I'm not going anywhere. Why would anyone in the victim's position agree to come back to Nigeria? A hawker in the street of Lagos State? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Yes, the victim pulled a fast one on Ekuremado, and in a twist, he claimed that nobody told him about donating his organ. After the jail sentence of Ekuremado, his wife and the doctor, Davido said he's afraid of going back to Nigeria because of his safety. The Ekuremado's act is despicable to say, as they preyed on the young boy's vulnerability. However, let us also consider the victim's family, who will not see their son for a while because of the fear of persecution if he returns to Nigeria. A Nigerian lawyer and human rights activist, Pelumi Olajumbesi, in an exclusive interview with the Nigerian News said, the conviction is valid and in line with the law of the United Kingdom because the UK has a duty to protect their law, and it will have been a different story in Nigeria because the issue of criminal trial in Nigeria can be very engaging at times and can take longer than expected. If you look at the issue in UK, you can't actually say that Ike Ekuremado is the prime suspect, but in Nigeria, the law gives room for some funny technicalities. What is the importance for us as Nigerians is that we should see the case as a lesson and learn from the standard so that we can try to abide by the rules and the laws in every place as citizens or where we find ourselves. Law is not a respecter of whoever we are or our status, and the UK has demonstrated that to the entire world. The country will not allow you to trample on their own law when you are trying to save your own children or child. Speaking of what Ekuremado would have done differently in the case, Olajembwesi said, the law is actually very clear on the donation of organs and issues related to that. Ekuremado would have approached the appropriate authority in the UK and ensured that the process of donation is done seemingly without committing any crime. Why will you do that? Because if they have the money, they can bring anybody to donate their organ. Even if that person died on the process, they don't care. The law is that when you purchase a human organs, it is also like purchasing a human life, which is inhuman. So for anyone donating an organ, it has to be a voluntarily, freely, and without any financial inducement. But in this case, apparently you can see that the young chap was induced, and at some point he became smarter and played a Kuremado, and here we are today. Look at the result of it. I personally sympathize with the senator's family, and as a family man, it can be very difficult to take such a decision, and we should also understand that we all are human beings. I think if Ekuremadu was humble enough to announce to the whole world that his child is facing such a medical challenge and request people who want to voluntarily donate a kidney, perhaps he would have found people to do it. Donating organs is not a big deal. What is important is the donation voluntarily done, and did they follow the laws to the letter. In the case of Ekuremadu, it is obvious the law was not respected. I think it was an oversight and the attitude of taking the law for granted, because we have such a culture of impunity in Nigeria. And he go out there, exercise it, and look at where he has blinded himself. And I hope this one will teach him a very big lesson to do what? To take care of your people. If you take care of your people, if you have been speaking good about your people, if you have done enough about your people, when you go there and open your mouth and say, oh, my daughter is dying, please, can somebody donate to save the life of my daughter? A lot of people will volunteer. But being at the Senate for decades, years, without nothing to show for it, not even a single pharmacist in your own constituency, that the villagers will go there and collect something for free. Don't be saying you don't have the money. All those money that's supposed to do that in now, should be federal government don't confiscate them. They don't confiscate all the whole properties. Almost 40 of your properties have been confiscated, the one they know about. And we know that you have many. Perhaps Ekuremadu's case will be a cautionary tale of Nigerian politicians that a day of reckoning is coming. And this breakfast will surely reach every one of them. Yes, in one way or the other, this breakfast, it must surely reach to each and every one of them. So we don't want to do this country well, but on our want to the siphon and they loot the goodies of this country to another country. God will go open on your hands one by one. Judge me by my performance as a governor, not as a minister. Akpabio, sorrow, agony and pain. You know that you failed as a minister. Chairman of NDDC for how many years? You can't account for any single kobo. Not even any completed project in your name. So we should judge you. So what happens when you leave government office to become the minister of chairman of the NLCCC or whatever it's being called? What happens? Nothing. You cannot show anything. That is why now you are boycotting the being a minister and also the chairman of NDDC for we to judge you when you are a governor. My dear, you failed. That's a simple truth. Even when you are a governor, if they look at it very well, you find out that you have done nothing. You failed. That is a simple truth. As an aspirant for the Senate presidency, Senator Godswill Akpabio has asked Nigerians and ministers of the incoming 10th National Assembly to judge him by his record as governor of Akwa Ibom State for 8 years. Akpabio stated that he should be assessed by his performance as Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, but by his service as a lawyer of 36 years and commissioner for 6 years. Nigeria News report that Akpabio, who is the preferred candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC for the Senate presidency, stated this in an interview with a journalist in Abuja on Saturday night. He said, I do know that I have not changed in any way. I am somebody God has given me the opportunity to be an uncommon transformer wherever I go. I would not like to be judged by ministerial appointment for Niger Delta, which everybody knows is a problematic place, more, but I would like to be judged by my record as a lawyer of 36 years, commissioner for 6 years, and a governor of 8 years. What are you going to show for it? He promised that if elected Senate President, Nigerians, he will sustain the January-December budget cycle initiated by the 9th National Assembly. According to him, the introduction of the January to December budget cycle was one of the major success stories of the ongoing assembly. He said, if given the opportunity by my colleagues to lead the 10th National Assembly, of the programs, one of my programs I would like to sustain will be the January to December budget cycle. The introduction of that is what I commend the Night Assembly for very seriously, because it allows for proper planning and allows the government to take off on a good note and also help bring about foreign directive investment into the country. So I think that will be sustained by the 10th Senate, and that is whether I am Senate President or not. I believe working with my colleagues, we shall sustain it because it is a collective idea. Everybody is important. The former Akwa Ibom governor also explained his relationship with some of his colleagues opposing his ambitions. He said on the issue of whether somebody is supportive or not, that is not the issue. The issue is that we must continue to engage. God has put us together for the next 4 good years. We must continue to speak to the people so that whatever perception they have, which is really not correct about me, will be totally debunked, according to God's will, Akpabio. Tinubu, they are don't challenge you. Shebi FFK, Festus Akpamo, Dela Lake, and the rest of other, both Adamu Garoba and the rest of them, they said you travel out for to meet with investors. Now, the PDP is challenging you to release the photos of meeting with investors in France. You cannot release for where you don't have any. You don't have any. Daniel Boala, a spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, has challenged the presidential elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release photos of his meeting with the investors he purportedly met in France. Nigeria recalled that Tinubu raised eyebrows during his 10-day trip to France, barely 2 weeks after he returned to Nigeria from his post-election break, which lasted for about a month. We are about to see the worst now. This one never clear himself. Make us just wait now. Immediately they say 29 now, swearing. The next one 30, he will get out of the country. And will stay there for 105 years before coming back. During the trip, there was speculation that Tinubu had traveled out on medical grounds. But his media head, Tunde Rahman, in a statement said that the former governor of Lagos State left the country to carry out some tasks. Rahman said Tinubu would use the opportunity to fine-tune the transition plans, programs, and policy options with some of his aides. According to him, Tinubu during the visit would engage the investors and other key allies. However, reacting to Tinubu's return on Saturday, in a post via Twitter, Daniel Boala said there were no meetings between Tinubu and any investors in France. Instead, Tinubu only met with the politicians and lobbyists from Nigeria. He wrote, now that Tinubu has finished his so-called official visit to meet with investors, etc., I dare them to release the photos of those meetings. I made them do them now. If they try and make a bend, I bet you if they release the photos, the foreign investors will turn out to be Nigerian politicians and Nigerian lobbyists from Nigeria. Daniel Boala, this man, you get bad mouth too. It don't happen again. No. Tragedy struck as bandits kill nine farmers in Kaduna. All these ones was also in southern Kaduna. And bandits have killed at least 9 farmers at Ongwa Danku near Dogondawa village in Birinengwari local government area of Kaduna State. Nigerians gathered that the bandits attacked the farmers on Saturday afternoon when they were working on their farms and whisked 3 victims away to an unknown destination. Speaking with Daily Trust, member-elect representing Kakangi constituency, Yaya Musa, said all those killed were farmers and that those who sustained gunshot injuries were rushed to hospital for treatment. He said, yes, it was confirmed to me this Sunday morning that 9 farmers were killed as bandits at Ongwa Danko near Dogondawa village on Saturday afternoon, and others sustained gunshot injuries. Musa explained that some of the villagers also confronted the bandits, which led to some sustaining gunshot injuries. As of the time of filing this report, the state government and the state police command have not reached to the sad incident. That's all we see. That's all we take say. Southern Kaduna, the whole Christians there, they don't kill them finish. It is not a secret meeting. Or Oneye Khan backs calls for live broadcast of election tribunal proceedings. The Catholic Bishop Emeritus of Abuja Archdiocese, John Cardinal Onikan, has supported the calls for the live broadcast of Presidential Election Petition Tribunal proceedings. The clergyman argued that the proceedings of the tribunal should not be conducted like a secret meeting because the voters have a right to know how their votes were being defended. Onikan said this while addressing journalists after Mass to mark the end of this year's 57th World Communication Week on Sunday. He warned against the dangers of electoral malpractices, saying that rather than the politicians, the mass feel the direct impact of a rigged election. Speaking further, Onikan urged the judges to dispense justice fairly and allow its proceedings to be transparent so that Nigerians can rekindle their hope in the judiciary. He said, as journalists, you do your job, cover everything, but try and listen to everybody and rely to the public what is happening because they want to see. Isn't it why it is important, the petition before the tribunal, the possibility that the tribunal should be available to all of us to be able to follow what is happening? For me, this is very important. One thing that Nigerians don't seem to realize is that when elections are rigged, it is not the contestants or the politicians who are worst hit. Those who are the most impacted are me and you, but as it stands, we don't even have local standing in court. We are the ones who should be complaining in court that my votes have been bastardized. But they tell me I cannot go to court because I did not contest the election. Have you seen it? If we cannot go and make our case, at least let us see what is happening inside there. We believe that our honorable judges will do their best to make judgments that are correct. They do what is right. Everybody will see it and it will help to calm nerves. We will know that the right thing has been done. Only if they will agree to this, because this is one of the cases. This is one of the cases we need to be attended at this very point in time. The slapper, the slapingitis man, the security slapper, Nigerian police is your friend. One alpha na, one kekusi. Now 8 years old. The Nigerian police is the country's principal law enforcement agency founded in the 1930s. Traditionally, the police are the officials responsible for law enforcement, order, and maintenance in the society. However, some bad eggs in the force have opted for the brutal use of force beyond the limit permissible by law. Unfortunately, the same people who are supposed to be all citizens, custodians, have turned into their oppressors. Of late, some shocking levels of violence and abuse have been found with the police officers in the country. People have died and are dying at the hands of police officers. Torture routinely takes the place of proper investigation, and a series of corrupt practices have become business of the day by the same people who are supposed to be societal role models. However, following lamentations by concerned Nigerians, including government officials and security operatives, the Police Service Commission and other concerned stakeholders have been working together to bring about a feasible change in the force by reinforcement. Citizens crossing the lines. The police have been involved in many cases of assault and violation of human rights. Recurrent events birthed a series of protests across the country where many citizens took the law into their hands, attacking and destroying government properties while assaulting police officers. Aside from the direct attacks recently on police officers by citizens, some influential people, including politicians, have been seen in several instances converting their police aides to housemates. Not only that, Some citizens now have no regard for police in police uniforms. Many Nigerians now conclude subconsciously that every man in police uniform is a mini devil. The Seun Kuti slap saga. Recently, the name of Afrobeat musician and son of music legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti, Seun Kuti, made news headlines following his arrest on May 13 for slapping a police officer in uniform. A viral video clip seen by Nigeria News Online showed Seun slapping a police officer on a busy road in Lagos. The government triggered a warrant of arrest from the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alekali Baba. Seun was subsequently arrested and placed into a cell after interrogation. He has been detained at the State Police Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department, SCIID, Pantiyaba, Lagos. Many Nigerians have since heard their comments about Seun's act, his arrest and detention. Seun Anikulapo Kuti and the law. On Saturday, May 20, 2023, popular institutional reforms advocate, convener, NSAS, Reform Police, Nigeria Advocacy, President and founder, SIAF, and CEO founder, Alison Media, Segun Awusonya, Sega Link, shared his honest opinion about the event which saw Seun Kuti slap an officer of the law. Sega Link, who expressed his respect for the Anikulapo family, said nothing justifies Seun's action against the police officer he assaulted in the public. He said the media has been awash with the incident involving Seun Anikulapo Kuti and the police officer he assaulted verbally and battered, as evidenced by the viral video recorded by an eyewitness. There was another video evidence on social media of the son of the Afrobeat legend, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, boasting about having slapped several police officers before. Of course, that is what put him in trouble, but he don't know. The authorities have since taken up the case under Section 356, subsection 5 of the Nigerian Criminal Code Act, which states that a person will be said to have committed serious assault when such a person assaults any person on account of any act done by him in the execution of any duty imposed on him by law, is guilty of a felony and liable to imprisonment for 3 good years. Section 98 of the Nigerian Police Act of 2020 also provides as follows: a person who assaults, obstructs, or resists police officer in the discharge of his duty or else, or incites any other persons to assault, obstruct, or resist a police officer or any other person aiding to assisting the police officer in the discharge of his duty, commits an offense and is liable on conviction. Awosanya recalled that the officer assaulted by Seun was on duty, driving a police vehicle and wearing the uniform of the Nigerian Police Force before he was recorded being verbally assaulted, slapped, and pushed around by the embattled singer. It was later gathered that the officer made a petition to his effect with evidence before the video went viral, which spurred the IGP's order for the arrest of Seun Kuti. While many sentiments may lie with the Kuti family for the sacrifice of years and unjust encounters with authorities under the military antagonism, nothing justifies Seun Kuti's outburst and the action that runs against the grain of the provisions of the law, Awosonya said. The NSAS convener acknowledged that the Kuti family are law-abiding advocates of good governance, justice, equity, and fairness. The Fela's legacy speaks for itself, void of violence and public incitement. The Sega Link added, our organization, that Social Intervention Advocacy Foundation, has been monitoring the prosecution of the police on the matter and is yet to establish any infringement on the rights of the talented singer. Seun has also been cooperating with the investigation despite mixed reactions from the general public and supporters. Many have alleged that there is a witch hunt. Others claim that if the table were to be turned, the response may be different. But as for the president and founder of the SIAF that conveyed the NSAS Reform Police Nigeria advocacy since 2017 till date. I can assure the public that no officer has gone without prosecution for infringing on the fundamental rights of the citizens, at least from any records, and that the Police Complaint Response Unit under the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Marcus Ishaku, as empowered by the Police Act of 2020. The public sentiment from some quarters is understood, but the law is not based or implemented on sentiment grounds. The matter, which is a case of felony, is already in the process of judicial adjudication. What we can do now is not to worsen the situation by inciting the public against the police, based on what some are doing online with mean-spirited spirits. Whataboutism and other propaganda, all is being online. We must not sink to the bottom of our emotional barrel by justifying lawlessness. The squandering of privileges and the unfortunate incident caused largely by the hobbies. The law is clear, and we can only appeal that justice should be tempered with mercy. However commendable his actions may be, his person is redeemable with the necessary anger, management, and intervention. According to Segalink, it became essential to recognize that everyone has biases and prejudice, including police officers. However, it is instructive not to let these biases cloud our judgment or actions. So don't be too biased. That's what the news is telling us. He added, when you have cause to engage police officers, the following may be helpful anywhere in the world. The number one of it is stay calm and respectful. Even if you feel that the police officer is being unfair or biased, it is important to remain calm and respectful. This can help to de-escalate the situation and prevent it from becoming more confrontational. Number 2, avoid making assumptions. Try not to assume that the police officer is biased or prejudiced against you. Instead, focus on the facts of the situation and try to communicate clearly and calmly. Number 3, beware of your own biases. It is important to recognize that you may also have biases or prejudice that could affect your interactions with the police officers. Try to be aware of these biases and work to manage them. Number 4, seek support if needed. If you feel that you have been unfairly treated by a police officer, it is important to seek redress via available means in that country. In Nigeria, reach out to the Twitter handles of the following at policeNG_CRU, at DCP Ishaku Force PRO headquarters, at Prince Moy 1, at Lagos Police Niger, at Benjamin Hunduyin, or at SIAF_Nigeria if it is a live or death situation. And I saw the thing take B. The last year but not the least, good luck will come here to explain to us the challenges that gives him sleepless nights each time when he was in office. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has disclosed the biggest challenge he experienced while he was in office between 2010 and 2015. According to the former Nigerian leader, insecurity gave him sleepless nights and serious headaches while in office. Jonathan stated this over the weekend during the commissioning of a 22-kilometer road project, the Yola-Wukari Road in Taraba State. He revealed that sometimes while in church, he would receive information on how people were being murdered and kidnapped and would start having headaches. He said, when I was the president of Nigeria, the insecurity of the nation did give me sleepless nights. Sometimes, even while I'm in the church, my ADC will bring a phone to show me how people are being murdered or kidnapped, and that gave me serious headache. As I came into the Jalingo airport, I saw the director of DSS and I quickly asked him, how is Taraba State security-wise? And he told me Taraba is relatively peaceful. Then thanking the people of the state for choosing to live in peace. Instead, I believe in security is the handwork of the citizens, and the people of Taraba have chosen to live peacefully, and you are enjoying it. It is not the business of federal or state government alone, according to Ebele Goodluck Jonathan. Okay, let us take this a final one. Buhari and the rest of his cabinet should come and explain to us what happened to the 460 million CCTV project, the camera they promised Nigerians, and they collect the loan from China. What happens to it? Now the person will come tell us, say, he want come fight corruption. Now he be the chairman of corrupted politicians. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the government of President Muhammadu Buhari to give an account of the 460 million US dollar Chinese loan meant for the failed Abuja closed circuit television CCTV project. Nigeria recall that the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, had in November 2019 filed a lawsuit against the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, over failure to disclose information and specific documents on the total amount of money paid to the contractors from the 460 million loan obtained in 2010 from China to fund the Abuja CCTV project. Wahala. Ahmed has disclosed that Nigeria was servicing the loan, adding that she had no explanations on the status of the project. In a statement made available to this online new platform on Sunday, SERAP disclosed that the court had demanded that the government publish the total amount of money paid to the Chinese and local companies and the contractors and specific details of the name of the companies and contractors and status of the implementation of the said projects. Justice Emeka Nwite gave the orders last week while delivering a judgment in a Freedom of Information suit number FSC/ABJ/CS/1447/2019 brought by SERAP. In his judgment, Justice Nwite agreed with SERAP that there is a reasonable cause of action against the government, adding that accounting for the spending of the 460 million Chinese loan is in the interest of the public. Justice Nwite also said that the Minister of Finance is in charge of the finance of the country and cannot, by any stretch of imagination, be oblivious of the amount of money paid to the contractors for Abuja CCTV contract and the money meant for the construction of the headquarters of Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB. SERAP's co-objectives are to promote human rights, transparency, and accountability and anti-corruption in Nigeria. I am of the humble view that there is a reasonable cause of action against the government through the Minister of Finance, and I so hold that SERAP has made out a case to be entitled to the relief sought. The law is well settled that where a document or letter is sent by post, it is the law that same is taken or presumed to have been delivered, he says. So my wonderful people, I don't hear them. Now here we go take back our kaya and I go with the go. So please, as you watch this news finish, make sure you share them, make sure you like, comment, and also keep subscribing. That it is very, very necessary and it's very, very important. So have a nice day, my wonderful people. May the Almighty God, the greater God, bless us in this new week, prosper us, and grant all our heart desires, the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Until I come your way again, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk. Please have a nice day and have a nice week, and may the God protect us and preserve us in this new week. So to say, and I'll be right back with another blockbuster. Thank you very much, my people. I am signing out. Bye for now.